Hello everyone and a warm welcome to Leaders Under Light 2.0. I am Gaurav Sharma, your host for this session. I am the Chief People Officer for Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages and as your guide on this exciting journey where we delve into both the personal as well as professional lives of senior leaders. This session is not just about titles or achievements, it's about the path, the people and their passions. Today, get ready for an electrifying ride with Prasanna Narayan Borah, our Chief Transformation Officer at HCCB. He's not just any other leader. He's a whirlwind of innovation and somebody who's a transformation guru, who's donned many hats throughout his stellar career. But hang on, there's more to Prasanna than just accolades. Imagine this, a young man fascinated by numbers who spirals into the powerhouse of the beverage world. It's a journey of personal metamorphosis from a math lover to an industry trailblazer. So buckle up as we zoom into Prasanna's life, uncovering the twists, the turns, and the turbocharged moments that propelled him from a classroom in Assam to the global business stage. Let's get candid, let's get real, and as we welcome Prasanna Narayan Borah to Leaders Under Light 2.0. Hey Prasanna.
Hi.
Welcome to Leaders Under Light 2.0. It took us a while to get you here.
Yeah, better late than never.
Welcome. Good you are here. And looking at your diverse background and starting off from beautiful Assam to a disciplined life of a boarding school, then studying mathematics and now doing transformation after management, can you just help me connect the dots and help me understand how your personal journey started through all these diverse elements and how has that shaped you into the leader you are today?
Okay, let me give you the background, my family background. My father was in the forest department. And today you go to Assam, still you find forest, right? In the late 70s, early 80s, before I went to boarding school, he was posted in the remote areas, being in the forest department. He was a forest officer. Saikwa Ghat forests, okay, Dumduma and someplace in Lakhimpur. There was no school. It was very difficult at that point of time. And forget about careers and everything. Like finding a school, proper school was difficult. So my father got fed up. He says, now we got a nice place in Dumduma, Don Bosco. He said, before my next transfer, we need to put him into some boarding school. Luckily, we had a school called Vivekananda Vidyalaya, one of the better schools in the eastern part of India, not only in Assam. And Dibboy is a town where we had the first oil refinery of Asia. So he made me prepare a lot to get into the school in class 5. So there was an entrance exam and I went to the boarding school in class 5. And that's where my boarding school journey started. It was pretty regimented. One is Vivekananda Vidyalaya. It was Ram Krishna Mission. You had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You had to sleep at 9 o'clock, lights off. That's how regimented it was. But the good part was that there was a lot of focus, not only on studies, but also on sports. So I used to play volleyball, football, cricket. There was no stopping. What has helped me was coming from a family where they used to indulge a lot. While we had 5 children, but I was indulged quite a lot. And in school, you had to study. There was a lot of competition on studies, but at the same time, you can let your steam off by playing various games. So you get to learn how to work as a team, play as a team, win as a team, and of course have fun as a team. I think that's where my journey started in school. Let me tell you what I learned during this period when I was in school. One is that you have to be independent because in boarding school at class 5 till class 10, you need to manage everything yourself. There's no one going to help you. Second is if you need help, you need to meet people who are not your family members or very close relatives. So you need to interact with people, you need to engage with them, you need to discuss various problems and then be open to take their help. That's how I think it shaped my initial behavior, initial value system in terms of being supportive and at the same time taking support from others. And also being a team player where, you ensure that the team wins and you are not the only person, but you become part of the team who celebrates the win together. So that's how it went.
Moving ahead and taking the conversation from school, college, and management days. So you went from mathematics all the way to management to IIM Bangalore. So how was life on campus, and what were some of the key learnings of mathematics or management that hold good even till today?
Let me first tell you how I went to do the MBA. That's an interesting story. Okay, when I was in Assam in the early 80s and late 80s, no career options. The three career options you had. If you're interested in engineering, get into engineering. And there were two medical colleges. If you're interested in medicine, you go there. Third option is you become a government officer or a teacher. And of course, there was an offbeat ones like become an army officer. So I was not interested in engineering because I actually could have walked into BS Pilani thanks to my ranking and my percentile marks, because Assam had some quota, 20 seats, and then I was in the top 5 kind of stuff, okay? That's one. So there was no career options. And I'll tell you another story about how I went to Delhi. That's maybe at a later stage. And I went to Delhi, and the same thing stuck to my mind, that I have to now... The Assam government jobs are gone. Engineering I have given up. This one I had given up. So that time there was a craze about UPSC and IAS. My parents thought that beta IAS banega. Okay, so he will become an IAS. So they said, then when I went there, I thought I will also become an IAS. Mathematics, I was good in studies. Then I saw people, 3 times, 4 times, sitting in Goyar Hall, sitting in Jubilee Hall Hostel, doing PhD, preparing for IAS, UPSC. But some people got through, but 1 in 1,000 maybe, okay. But I was pretty confident, maybe I will do that. But being a mathematician, being a risk taker, being independent in college, I also had my backup plans. I thought, if PSC, if not, I will do my PhD in mathematics, become a professor. So life is sorted. That's what was my approach. And in 1993, that was the year, last year of my graduation. So I'll give you an interesting story. So I was very well sorted. I thought I will get into masters. I will easily get into Delhi University or JNU or someplace. And then I will become a professor, or if things work out well, I'll become an IAS officer. Okay, and I would have fulfilled the dreams of my parents. Around September, October, I asked all my friends in Hansraj College in Delhi, staying in the hostel. You meet all these people and you find them mugging IMS packages for CAT and this and that. And then I asked, what are you doing? They said, we are preparing for CAT. Okay, and what is CAT? No, MBA. I knew MBA, but I didn't know about CAT because I was not interested or inclined. And it was around October, sometime about 1 month before the CAT exams. I said, is there time to apply? I thought maybe have one more option, backup. They said, now it's too late, but you can still apply. But you cannot. We have been studying for 1 year, so it's difficult to get in even after 1 year of studies. I said, show me the papers, what kind of question. They gave me something. I said, it's pretty easy. Okay. Then I said, let me also try. They said, you can try, but 1 month, impossible. So I immediately applied, and as luck would have it, I think everything happens for good. That year was the year of Mandal Commission. I don't know if you're aware of it. There were a lot of agitation of students in Delhi as well as some other capital cities. And the exams got postponed by about 6 weeks or something. And I had enough time now to prepare for CAT. Okay, I had 3 weeks, now I got 9 weeks. So nothing could stop me. So I went for the exams, and people thought still, 9 weeks or 2 months of studies vis-a-vis 1 year and all. Maybe it will not work out. They were very close friends of mine. But after the exams and all, I was pretty confident I'm going to get it, because I finished the exams and the test half an hour before everyone else could, and I just walked out. They thought I had given up and come out, but and the rest is history. I got into IIM Bangalore, and then got into the corporate world and started giving my best to whatever I get.
Wow, what a story! So, how was life on campus after mathematics to management?
Management was tough, because I'll tell you, while we had very good academics, but in Assam, one thing they don't teach you is to speak in Hindi or you speak in English. So everything you write in English, your maths, your English, and you used to get very good marks in English. Our written English was excellent in Assam because the board had some kind of structure of studies, but you cannot speak in English to save your life. So when we went to Delhi, I think the first thing we did was to pick up Hindi and English as a conversation language. Okay, and that was there. And when it came to Bangalore, you had to do lots of things. Used to be in terms of participation in class and talking in English, etc. So actually, it was a learning experience for me. Like I said, in Delhi University, it was broken English. By the end of the third year, some English. In Bangalore, it was fine-tuned my English to a large extent, plus a lot of studies, etc., etc. And the good part there was that you meet a lot of people and get a lot of perspective about people, about culture. Of course, studies, academics was quite rigorous. And then you also had a chance to enjoy various sports because Bangalore is not only about nerds who go there to study day and night, but we also had used to go to the gyms. We had swimming pool, we had football, cricket, Coco we used to play. And I think it was a good learning experience where you get to interact with people, you get to communicate, you get to understand various people's culture and how to manage people who have got their own idiosyncrasies or their own egos. I think apart from academics, what it helped me to learn was of how to interact and make friends with people who you may not know. I think that's something which I learned from there.
Very, very good. Thanks for sharing. And how have you kept up with your sports? Are you still playing any sports? Are you still showing those hobbies? Do they reflect in your day-to-day for unwinding or relaxing?
I'm not an active sports participant today, but I do pretty rigorous exercise sometimes.
What sports were you playing?
I used to play cricket. I used to be swimming. I do swim even today. I used to do swimming. I used to actually participate for my college in the swimming competitions. I used to play volleyball. I used to play cricket. We used to go early morning, 4 o'clock to cover the pitch in the judges' field in Guwahati. If you are not early, someone else will come and take the pitch on a weekend. So we used to do all those stuff. Okay, so quite a sports enthusiast. Nowadays, whenever I get a chance, I play table tennis or I play badminton sometimes. But I do a lot of walking, and this is something which actually helps me to keep myself, grounded and also to concentrate. For example, I go for a 15-kilometer walk, and and we stop because there's no time, not because I'm tired. So I like to 15 kilometers, and I like to stress myself. And it's not that I do it in 3 hours or something. I do it in 2 hours or less than 2 hours. So you walk fast, briskly, and you want to stretch yourself and see how much I can walk. Till that time, you realize that at 11 o'clock in the night, and I need to go home, and tomorrow I got office. Okay, so I like to stress myself both in terms of in the office or at home or whatever I do. And I think that's what builds my confidence about, if you want to do something and you really enjoy it, you can achieve or do whatever you set out to achieve.
Very clear. So it's very clear the way you were describing yourself and why you do these activities. So now let's change gears and get to know more about your term at Coca-Cola. You've been here and you've done these diverse roles. You've moved from hardcore commercial, operations, sales to IT, digital, and now transformation. So can you help us understand these choices? And also, what were some of the learnings that you could take with you across all these roles over the years?
I believe, if you look at it, actually I didn't think too much about taking these roles. People may think it's risky, you're swimming in muddy waters or shark-infested waters. Actually, some people told me when I took some of the roles, okay. I started with it, as you are aware, in sales. Prior to this, I was a brand manager in some other company. And then in sales, I was always given some difficult locations. Then came, I became the region sales director for Central India. That was 1/3 of India. And then also had a stint in as a area general manager, handling 3 factories and 1 market in the eastern part of India. I managed most of the south as a ZVP, where you had the P&L responsibility. The most important part was getting into Coke One. Coke One is SAP ERP, and all the companies are scared to implement SAP ERP because something goes wrong. And at that point of time, nowadays it's much easier because of the technology has changed, the solution has changed, people's mindset has changed. So prior to that, I was in sales, and I had set up the planning system, the vertical. And one fine day, the CEO at that point of time, he called me into his room, and he said, "Prasanna, how are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing fine. I have set up the DOYP funds vertical. I have set up the transportation vertical, the infrastructure planning vertical, and also the land acquisition. I was also responsible for land acquisition, by the way, with teams of legal, finance, etc., etc." I said, "Great. Now I got a new job for you." I was worried. I don't know where he is going to send me back to sales. I would have been interested. "I want you to do Coke One." I asked, "What is Coke One?" He said, "This SAP ERP implementation. I want you to do it." My feet sank somewhere. Okay, I thought, "Oh, what's this?" So I know how to open my laptop and do some PowerPoint and some Excel, and then I have to know SAP ERP. And I just, "Boss, I don't know anything about SAP. Forget about it. I don't know anything about software, IT, etc. I only know how to open the laptop and do some stuff there." He said, "That's why I want you to do it." Okay, and I said, "If you are confident that I can do it, and you're going to support me to be successful, I'm okay." I just took the job because I understand later on some other people had declined the job, IT people, and they said very risky, too much of cost, it may or may not happen, etc., etc. And I'll give you one example of why I was confident about this, because I believe that the organization is like my parents. And if that organization trusts you with something and you trust the organization, magic can happen. I'll give you a small example. We had, like I said, we were staying in Dumduma. There's a place in Upper Assam. We had a house. We had a huge pond, 12 feet deep waters. And I didn't know swimming. My father said, "I'll teach you swimming." I said, "Let's go." I thought he will do like everyone else, hold like this. Few minutes, he just held my tummy like this. I was like about 6, 7 years old, okay? I used to do, and suddenly he let me go. I got a few gulps of water, he pulled me out, then he pulled me back. He says, "Rest for some time, I will again teach you." I was scared, but I said, "This is my father, he's not going to do anything." Okay. I again went. After 3, 4 tries, I learned swimming in 1 day. You'll not believe it. Amazing. 1 day. And after that, I'm very comfortable. I actually swim up to half a kilometer into oceans and seas and all this stuff. Okay, I'm very comfortable and confident. So I have that feeling, if you take a risk and the person who's going to pull you out if you're drowning and you trust that person, you should take the risk. And if you're confident, you can succeed. That's how the journey into Coke One started. And after that, of course, there are multiple roles that came in. And we had some amount of risk, some amount of opportunities, and thankfully, with all the support of my colleagues, my team, and the support backing of the organization, I have been able to at least deliver reasonably well in almost every assignment I have been doing.
Yeah, thanks for summarizing that. And, hearing your life journey in Coca-Cola about the different roles and how for Coke One, you were given the assignment. Not really selected, but given the assignment, right? You're quite a veteran in Coca-Cola. You've seen HCCB as an organization evolve over the years. I would want to learn from you. How do you think this evolution has taken place, and what all is changing or what all has changed in front of you?
Slightly difficult question. It was when you are...
But we're taking the advantage of your experience here.
When you are so long in the organization, you think it's a matter of fact because changes happen every few years. So the good part is this organization has been adapting to various changes over time. We can say today is challenging. Yeah, it's very challenging. Maybe 5 years back, it was different kind of challenge. 10 years back, different kind of challenge. 20 years back, it was completely different kind of challenge. So the best part about this organization, it has thrived in, it's all the challenges and has got the resilience to actually come out and deliver. Of course, it cannot be a consistent every year, but if you look at any block of 3 to 4 years, this company has been performing very well. And I think it gives a lot of confidence to the team who actually think in those lines that come what may, this company has got the DNA to succeed. If you look at the overall organization, irrespective of the environment, it has got the right DNA and all the right ingredients to succeed in the market and become a really, successful company in the short, medium and long term. I think that's the confidence we all have, and that's a confidence I think we need to instill among our own teams, among all the people in the organization, and also among our stakeholders. I think that's something which, as a leadership team, we should play.
So Prasanna, we spoke about you earlier. Then we spoke about some of your journeys that you've taken and the learnings, the evolution of HCCB. Now, focusing on you as a leader, what's your leadership mantra or leadership style? And how does that help you in your leadership, leading teams, achieving success?
If you look at, as a leader, I'm not evolved as yet, but I would like to say that I'd like to be seen as someone who's more participative and democratic, seeking inputs, etc. But I love to drive the agenda, and I love to set the pace, because unless and until someone sets the pace, you never know, how fast you can run or how fast you can go. So that's my style, seek inputs, be a bit seem democratic, but set the agenda and then set the pace. That's one. Second, the important part is always try to learn, because if as a leader I feel that I know everything, I will not be doing justice to the knowledge, collective knowledge of the team. So I try to take a lot of inputs from people, and instead of giving the answers, I like asking the questions most of the time. Okay, and then if something fits in, incorporate. I don't interfere every day on day to day. I like to give people the independence to plan, execute, and at the same time provide inputs. But if they say, boss, this idea is not good, so I feel very happy, because at least someone is evaluating ideas and inputs and then acting like I expect myself to act. Okay, that's number two. No, but I always keep an oversight on what's happening. So I'm a data person. I said I'm a maths guy, and I look at the numbers very, very often. Early morning, first thing I do is look at the numbers. And if something is going fine, I don't even call, discuss. I know things are going fine, but if someone needs help, I intervene. Intervene means support, from a supporting perspective. So I have a full oversight of what's happening, and I intervene and provide support to make people successful. Okay, if someone is not able to overcome something, I try to go and help out. So that's my style. My firm belief is in one thing. There are two ways you can lead people. One is you can support everyone at all points of time in any situation, and you will be liked by people. Okay, you may not stress them if someone is stressed, you may relax, etc. But my belief is you get respect from people if you make them successful. Okay, so my endeavor is to ensure that everyone who I work with, irrespective of it's my team or some other functional teams, that I try to contribute or at least provide inputs on how they can become successful in their job, irrespective of whether it's impacting my vertical or my function or not. Okay, so you'll see if you talk to various people in this organization, I was taken the inputs from who all. Some of the people will say I've taken input from Prasanna as well. But he has nothing to do with what I am doing. But as an SLT, I have everything to do with what they are doing. Okay, so it's very important to ensure that people are successful. Even if you stretch them, they are happy. And if they're happy, they're successful, they will grow in their careers and they will respect you. So that's my key mantra. So try to make people successful.
Very clear, Prasanna, about your leadership style and the journey you've taken. And thanks for also mentioning how this impacts the people around you. You know, you're leading transformation. And we all know with change comes resistance. So how your transformation work has faced resistance, or when it has faced resistance, what strategies have you adopted to bring people along? I know you described a few as a part of your leadership style. Can you give us some more examples of when you faced some adversity? What did you do? How did you bring people along with you?
Yeah, did I tell you I was a transformation guru?
No.
Oh, jokes apart, okay. No, it's a learning journey. I am not a transformation guru or anyone who is very good transformation. I think the first thing is that you should understand that, if you're trying hard, you are trying to learn, people acknowledge that. Okay, and if you try to help them to succeed in their own goals, people respect you more and then are open to you. So in transformation, I believe, I don't know much about transformation. I don't follow any rule book. Okay, so I'm still learning. Okay, of course, I do a lot of studies, etc., on how to influence and how to get people to align. But the most important, as for me, is that you have to plan well. Okay, do good planning and have a backup contingency, so that if something goes slightly out of track, you've got a contingency, and both of them should be equally good to succeed. Okay, so not be like my contingency, I'll fail, etc. So no, you have options. You create options, and then you ensure that each of the options is good enough to succeed. Okay, it's very, very important. That's number one. Number two is to align the transformation goals, at least to determine the goals of the transformation objective with the goals of the people who are either participating in the transformation or are impacted by the transformation. That's very important. So they have to understand this transformation team is doing this, and if it happens, then it will impact me like this. So you have to very clearly articulate that with facts, numbers, and information. And also prove it. If you have a hypothesis, you have data, you prove it. So first of all, align your goals with the transformation and goals, with the goals of the team members who are impacted or who are participating in the overall transformation. I think that's very, very important. Another thing is communicate. Communicate what is the goal, how they will be positively impacted, and have clarity on what is the role of each and every member of the team. I think you can never overemphasize communication. Communication is very important. And of course, the third part is share all the credits with the people who are either driving the transformation or are getting impacted by the transformation, because people want to be successful. Now, even if they're not playing a full role, you want to make them feel that, oh, you guys have done a great job by transforming this. Imagine the kind of positivity you can actually generate. I think that's very important, and that's where I believe gives you that tipping point, right, of transformation. You start with something, small success, and give praise to everyone who's participating or are getting impacted. They will feel that they would like to do more. And that's where I think the tipping point starts, and people start participating and trying to, accelerate the transformation job. So I think that's something which I try to a large extent. And I think have been reasonably successful in over the last so many years.
Yeah, tipping point, right? You mentioned. And you actually said, are you a transformation guru? I think you are, because you described your own philosophy of how you help people go through change and overcome the resistance, or any resistance there would be. You spoke about the tipping point. Now talking about you personally, any turning points in your life where in the blink of an eye or in a moment, things completely went this way or that way?
See, I told I was in Cotton College, Guwahati. I was doing my +2, 10+2, and my ideal career was, because engineering I would have got, but I was not very keen. Then I tried doctor, because I could not become. I had taken only maths, physics, chemistry, maths, no biology. So I was very content. I will do my masters, I'll become a professor, or I'll take a government job. And I came from Makum. There's a place in the Upper Assam, 600 kilometers or 550 kilometers from Guwahati, to take my results, plus 2 results. Results came out. We got the marks, and I was very happy because my marks was pretty good. But I was thinking Cotton College will easily give me a job, the seat in mathematics. And Cotton College was one of the best. After Presidency College in the eastern part of the country, that was the number 1 college. And I was very, very thrilled. Okay, and I asked all my friends, how was your marks? Good. Reasonably good marks. Maybe not as good, but what are you doing? Are you also taking in Cotton College? No, we are going to Delhi University. So at least 30, 40 people, they had all booked train tickets to go to Delhi. And I thought, am I missing something? Then I asked, if I also want to come, they asked, do you have tickets? I said, I don't have tickets. I don't have much money to go to Delhi and stay. And I can't call my parents. There was no phone that time, by the way. Because the phone that was accessible to my parents was about 9 kilometers from Makum to Tinsukia. You had to come there. One of my family friends who was a doctor had a phone in his house. And phones were very rare that time. If you had a phone, that means you are who's who is 30, 35 years back. Okay. And Assam in the back was not very well developed. There was a time when VSNL was not even there, for example. And phone was BSNL, and to connect a line was very difficult. So I said, I still want to come. Then one guy said, why don't you get a current ticket and then sit? We got 30, 40 birds. You can just land up there. And if a TT comes, the students, nothing will happen. So I said, let's go. So I just booked the current ticket and then boarded the train.
This is totally filmy.
This is real. Boarded the train, reached Delhi. There's an Assam house in Chennai Kapuri. Okay, so all of us went to Chennai Kapuri. There was a dormitory this size, maybe 50 by 30, and there were some 50, 60 people there with hold dolls and whatever.
People from your...
From Assam house. That means students from Assam all come for taking admission. And we landed up there, and next morning after landing up, my parents were all worried, what's happened to him. So I called my uncle and said, I am going to call in the evening. Please inform my parents. Okay, I didn't say I'm in Delhi. And then evening, I again booked a trunk call. Assam House, they used to book, and they gave me, I called up, and they had free calls, okay? Because students, they were giving, and some minister has sponsored this. We called up, and I told them I'm in Delhi. I got good marks. I'm going to take admission here. My mom was very worried. My dad was very, very thrilled. He says, now what? I said, send me 5,000 rupees. Okay, that's how I started my journey. And of course, after that, I got in Hansraj College and a couple of more colleges and studied in Delhi. I think that was the turning point of my career. And if I had not taken the call, maybe I was somewhere else. Okay, now the same thing, I just like to link it up. The other career option I said orbit was army. So I had also, written the NDA exams, and I got the call. Okay, and when I was in the hostel, not hostel, before I got the hostel, because once you get the admission, hostels is allocated slightly late. So I used to stay in a place called Mukherjee Nagar, close to the campus. University, and because I had got the call for the NDAs, it's called interview in Allahabad. They had the physical interviews and all. So I used to run early morning, 3:30 early morning, 4 o'clock. I used to run for 1.5 hours, very fast, and it was pitch dark. Okay, and 3 days before or 2 days before the interview, okay, where I had to go to Allahabad, I tripped on a stone and I twisted my ankle. And I still said that I will not get selected because it's mostly physical. Okay, that if you want to become, join the army and all. But I still went to Allahabad and there went for the interviews. Everything went fine except for the fact that I could not participate in the physical test. Jumping, running, etc., rope climbing, I could not do it because of the twist, and there was some ligament broken or whatever it is. And that is what stopped me from joining the army. And then came the cat, I said, right? Otherwise, I would have been sitting in the army there. So these are two of the things, incidents that happened, which changed the way my career or my education would have panned out.
Wow. So are there any people you are in touch with you thank for these decisions?
Yeah, I do. I'm still in touch. We got a college group.
In fact, that gets me to the next question, right? Who's been the biggest influencer in your life? Could be from the family or could be a role model that you have, and what have you learned from this person?
I think, we are very close-knit family, okay? While everyone stays differently. Plus also we are basically from the villages, and we used to always spend a lot of time in the villages, and the social fabric was very strong. So I think the most influence I had was from my own parents, because they were very supportive. They used to, not only for the whole own family, but everyone else, because if anyone needs help, anyone is in trouble or whatever, they used to go out of the way. I think that also brings in a lot of values to me. If someone needs help, even if they don't cry out for help, you feel that you have an obligation to help people. That's very important, okay? Second is my wife. Okay. Irrespective of the odds, she will never give up. The chance of success is 5%. She will say, let me give it a shot.
So,
okay, so...
Ms. Borah, you want to address her, Jim Lee?
Yeah, the Jim Lee is... so, I'll give you an example, okay? She came to Mumbai from Guwahati to take admission, okay? That's only one incident. I'll tell you hundreds of them, okay? But if we have time over a drink. She got into one of these colleges in central Mumbai. I forgot the name of the college. A pretty good college, okay? But she only wanted St. Xavier's College. She said, I will study here. I said, you are late. Assam publishes the results late. Okay, and you are not from CBS. You are from Assam board. Assam board, you always get 10%, 12% less, because Bengal board, Assam board, you don't get like a CBS, ICS. I said, it's going to be almost impossible. You take that seat, and then if you don't take that, then and you don't get this, you'll not get anywhere. She said, no, if I take that, I will not try hard enough for this, for the interviews and everything. So she did not take that seat, and she went for the interviews, because it was late, they had interviews now, okay? And she got it. Okay, so that's the kind of, beliefs that she has got, and also to keep trying despite all odds. I think that's something to learn from there. So I also try to inculcate part of this. I don't acknowledge in front of her, but
Well, now that you have, the whole world is going to watch this, and we all want to say, hi, Jim Lee. Thanks for being the guiding force and the influencing force, and giving Prasanna so much to think. Prasanna, now as we look at, summarizing the conversation, if there is one advice that today's Prasanna will want to give to a younger Prasanna, what would that be?
Not too many, actually. There's not too much regrets. But I think one thing is important, to have a mentor, a serious mentor in life when you are young, when you're starting to join your job. I had one, learned a lot of how to make your team learn, because I learned a lot from him.
Want to share who that was?
That was a gentleman called P.K. Vijay Kumar. I was a brand manager. He was a marketing head for one of the divisions of the liquor portfolio. And he used to teach me, various things on brand management, even how to Excel formulas, because those times new, right? Excel and all were just coming. There was something else that time. I forgot the name. So he used to teach me all those stuff. And then when I had to work in the evening, he used to sit with me. You know why? Because he said that if I do this, you will not learn. You learn, but he will sit with me and say, if you make a mistake, I'll make you learn. And he used to stay, even if it's late and I have to do something. So because in the night, you don't get taxis. So he had to give me a drop. My home was on the way. Okay, so the support, the kind of learning, the bonding that we had, I still carry. He is now a professor in the US, so one of the universities, I think in South Carolina, someplace. Okay, so we are, at least digital friends. That's one, I think, learning I had from that point of view. So he was one good mentor. But after some time, what happens is during the course of the career, I didn't have a formal mentor, while I learned for a lot of them. But it actually helps if you have a mentor who can look over you and give you the inputs, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, so that you learn more and improve. I think that's very, very important.
Thanks for sharing. So this interview, Prasanna, has been, I would say, like, uncovering so many facets about you. We got to know that Prasanna could have been an army person. He could have been a professor. He turned out to be a management person. Within management, he started with commercial, has done brands, has done IT, has done ERP implementation, now is leading transformation. And he just mentioned about it. Today, he's opened up and said that he doesn't say it openly, but today he openly thanked his wife for being a strong influencer and supporter for him. So now, friends, we got to know about Prasanna. It was a lot of revelations today. Many facts that we didn't know about him. We know him better as a person. But how about we get to our favorite round, which, it is the rapid fire round. So if you are ready, I'm going to throw off about 9 or 10 questions and you'll have to answer very quickly the first one that comes to your mind. Okay, good to go?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird.
Yeah, you run at 3:30. Favorite book?
Ask with Why by Simon Sinek.
Yeah, start with the why, right?
Starts with Why, sorry.
Yeah,
starts with it.
Yeah, that's right. Start with the why. The most used app on the phone, on your phone?
That's obvious. WhatsApp.
What? A hobby you enjoy outside of work?
I am a traveling guy. I love to travel, both nationally and abroad, and explore places.
How many countries have you visited so far?
I think last count was 27.
Wow. All right. Your go-to comfort food?
Nuts.
Peanuts or cashew or almond?
Any nuts.
Any nuts. All right. Your favorite sport and favorite sports team?
That's also obvious. Cricket.
Cricket.
An Indian cricket team.
Of course.
Now, of course, Jaiswal is coming and I am really gung-ho about him and really love the way he plays.
If not in your current profession, what would you be doing? There were a couple of them.
That's at this point of time? No, that was then. I can't join the army, but I would be a hotelier or a restaurateur.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I love to cook.
That's something which we didn't speak about. That we are saving for the next Leaders Under Light. You like to cook, I heard.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite music?
Favorite music is old indie songs. I'm slightly traditional.
And favorite singer or favorite song?
Nothing specific. Kishore Kumar was not. Mohammed Rafi was one of them. And of course, I like the Assamese folk bihu music and also it really gives you a lot of bounce and fun when you listen to bihu music and start dancing.
Very good. And to sum it up, favorite beverage?
Diet Coke.
All right. Well done, Prasanna.
3-4 every day.
Thank you so much for joining us for Leaders in the Light and having like a no holds barred session. It's been an excellent conversation, Prasanna. Wishing you all the very best. Till we meet again on Leaders Under Light, all the best.
Thank you. My pleasure. I think you've been a real nice host and look forward to a lot of exciting times in ACCB. And I'm sure we are going to be a rocking company. We are already a rocking company, but we'll rock much more in the coming days. Thank you.